Welcome back. And in our world business news, a friendly round of golf between President Barack Obama and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, John Boehner, on Saturday had unusually high stakes as the White House tries to build Republican support for a debt deal. The two have had a respectful working relationship but lack a personal rapport, reflecting entrenched differences between their parties on budgets and borrowing that have raised market fears about a possible US default. Aides said that the outing was a chance to possibly find an agreement to raise the $14.3 trillion limit on the nation's debt before the 2nd of August deadline. Boehner's spokesperson acknowledged that debt and deficits would likely to be discussed on the green, but said tough decisions on spending cuts would be left for the lawmakers. Chinese President Hu Jintao and Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych met at Yalta on Saturday evening to further deepen bilateral cooperation. Hu expressed appreciation with the Ukrainian side for viewing its relations with China as the priority in its foreign policy. He said the two sides have carried out fruitful cooperation in the area of politics, trade, economy, science, technology, culture and international affairs. Yanukovych said Hu's visit is of great significance to the government and people of the Ukraine. He said this visit will add fresh impetus to the development of bilateral relations and lift their cooperation to a new height. Hu is the first Chinese head of state to visit the Ukraine in the past decade. Mexican Central Bank Governor Agustin Carstens, who is hoping to secure the top International Monetary Fund job, met Japanese Finance Minister Yoshihiko Noda on Friday in a bid to drum up support from the second biggest contributor to the fund. Carstens, who is seen as the main challenger from emerging economies to front-runner French Finance Minister Christine Lagarde, said he would take a balanced approach in representing views from both sides. Carstens emphasized his experiences in handling Mexico's pesos crisis in 1994 as the country's central banker against the argument of a European being a more fitting candidate for the top IMF job. The European debt crisis makes it hard to break the 65-year-old tradition of European leadership at the IMF. Even though members agreed some time ago, the next managing director should be selected on the basis of merit. Carstens himself conceded this week that his IMF ambitions may not be realised, calling himself a long-shot candidate.
By coming here, being Japan the second most important country in the fund from a quota point of view, and being one of the most important advanced economies, I certainly wanted to convey the message that I would be a managing director who would try to represent not only the views of emerging markets, but also the views of advanced economies.
And before we go, here's a quick overview of the Asian equity indices, as well as the oil and currency markets. After that, we've got the day's sports news, so stay with us.